Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. It is a delight to be back at the dispatch box, and I've been looking forward to speaking opposite the Right Honourable Lady for a very, very long time. She and I have never really met, certainly never spoken to each other, despite being in this house together for 7 years. We have some things in common, not much. We were both born in 1980, although I'm older and wiser than she is. People often think we're both much younger than we really are, because we've got such great skin and good hair. And we're both known as being quite feisty. So I'm really pleased to be able to congratulate her on her elevation to Secretary of State and Deputy Prime Minister. This is a phenomenal achievement. She will be a great inspiration to young people, but particularly young women in many communities across the country. And I think that's a wonderful thing. That's the sort of Britain we are, where people who grow up from all walks of life can reach the top. It's an extraordinary story, dare I say, of conservative success. Because unlike me, she grew up under a conservative government with a welfare state that provided a safety net, a strong economy and opportunity, while I mostly grew up in Nigeria under a socialist military government that used a lot of the rhetoric that I've heard her promote when she was sitting on this side of the house. So she may not credit Conservatives for what she has achieved, but we'll be taking some of that credit anyway. Yeah. So I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to her on her first outing as a minister in the chamber, because it's only going to be downhill from here. You see, the thing is, I've been a Secretary of State before, and after 5 years as a minister, you learn a thing or two about government that you never can in opposition. I've been there, done it, and I can tell the Right Honourable Lady that she has been stitched up. It is quite clear that the bills and policies from the King's speech she's just referenced have not been written by her, but by the Chancellor and the Chancellor's advisors. We all know this because we watched the member for Leeds West announce them in far more detail in her speech last week. And all the stuff the Secretary of State worked on in opposition, like her new deal for workers, has been taken off her and given to the Business Secretary. So I'm sorry to tell the Right Honourable Lady that her colleagues, the Prime Minister, the Chancellor, and their many advisors have written a manifesto and made promises that are not deliverable, and they've hung them around her neck and said, Angie, you go out there and you sell it. I'm sad to see many of her shadow team not sitting beside her as ministers. They worked for free, grinding in opposition for years, only to watch the children of the chosen ones get the ministerial cars and salaries before their maiden speeches are written. Wow.
Golden tickets.
Sue Gray was a lot nicer to me when she worked in my department. I think we know who's in charge, and it's not the Right Honourable Lady. She's been stitched up. They've made her the fall guy. They've promised 1.5 million houses by the end of this parliament. That's over 800 houses per day, and we're already 2 weeks in. And as she goes on, day after day, she's going to realise that a backlog is building and there's no way out. But I want her to know that I'm here for her. I'll be here to hold her hand and walk her through what is likely to be a very difficult time. I may even give her some tips, because having worked in that department, I know what needs to be done. I know what we should have done that we didn't do. And I know that they're going to make the same mistakes.
They'll see.
It's not that 1.5 million homes by the end of this parliament is unachievable. It's that it's going to require the sort of systemic change which they are not ready for. I know they're not ready because of how they voted in the last parliament and how they campaigned in their own constituencies. I'm not going to read out the long list of all the cabinet members who've been opposing planning in their backyard, including the housing minister. Many of them have been thinking that they get into government and concrete over lots of Tory constituencies. 3 weeks ago, just 15% of the Greenbelt was in Labour constituencies. Now it's 50%. They aren't Tory constituencies now, they are Labour. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I would say, yes, they are Labour. They are Labour. I would say to members opposite, they are now your voters and your electorate, and you're going to have to tell them that you're going to do something that many of you promised locally that you would never do not that long ago.